Remember those 23 minutes that you suffer every time you're interrupted? 23 minutes per interruption. We talked about in the last video that every time you're interrupted, it takes 23 minutes to reestablish your focus into what you were working on before you were interrupted. Just a real quick reminder of what that looks like. We were talking about some research out of UC Irvine, where researchers found that it takes 23 minutes to fully refocus after an interruption. Not 5 minutes, not 10 minutes, but 23 minutes. You can see at the bottom of this graphic that just with 3 interruptions, that's 69 minutes of recovery time. But the bad news is the average worker in our professional workplace today is interrupted 56 times a day. That means you need 21.5 hours of recovery time for every 8-hour day. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. In this video, we're gonna talk about 3 tips that you can use right away, start right away, that'll start to move that back in your favor, start to mitigate, start to manage, start to reduce the amount of time it takes you to get back into a task or a piece of work when you were interrupted. So let's get after it. Number 1, set aside some interruption time. What I mean by this is, think back, in college, a lot of times professors will have office hours. That is a block of time that they have their door open and anybody can drop by. It's kind of first come, first serve. And a lot of times you walk by and the door's open, you go right on in, have some questions, get some answers, and you're out of there. Sometimes the door's closed, someone's in there, you wait a few moments and then you're in. We're talking about the same thing here. In the workplace, you could set up a half an hour block, 10 to 10:30, let your team know that from 10 to 10:30, my door's open, come on by, first come, first serve, whatever it may be. But the purpose of that is to be, yes, a sitting duck where they can come by and ask you questions, get some time with you and that sort of thing. It's not the time for a one-on-one or a lengthy conversation. It's some time that you're available to answer those quick 2 or 3 quick questions that they have. Maybe it's not fixed every day. Maybe it's not 10 to 10:30 every day and 2 to 2:30 every day, but every day you have a block of time or maybe 2 blocks of time where you're there for that purpose, to be interrupted, to answer those quick questions. Sometimes with leaders will not have a schedule, or maybe even just someone in the workplace will not have a schedule that allows them to do that at the same time every day. But you can use Teams or Slack or an email to let your team know, hey, starting at 2 o'clock coming up, I'm going to be available with my door open. If you got a quick question or a couple quick questions, come by from 2 to 2:30, I'll be available. So set aside some office hours for people to interrupt you. And that way, what are you working on? Well, that way you're just working on busy work, right? You're working on kind of a one-off task, like I got to do this one thing. And when it's done, it's done. So if you get interrupted, it's not a big deal. Tip number 2, have a 2-minute or less rule. A 2-minute or less rule. That means that when you get interrupted, you're going to go ahead and handle that interruption, if you can handle it in 2 minutes or less, right then, there, and now. So for example, if someone comes by and says, I have a quick question, you might say to them, yeah, what have you got? What is it about? What is this pertaining to? And they say, I just need to know the bottom line of the budget. And you're the budget person on a project, you can answer that by simply looking at them and saying it's $15,011.23. And that's it. You handled it in 2 minutes or less, and you can quickly get back into your work. Maybe you told a client that I'll be looking for your email at 11 o'clock. And if it comes in then, I'll be sure to open it up and reply to it. Well, you get that email, you intentionally leave the piece of work you're working on, go and check your email, find that one client's email, reply to it, send it, and then quickly get back to your work. Now, there's one caveat to this. If it's an email or a message, you want to make sure that you close the loop, meaning it doesn't leave you ruminating or wondering or thinking about it after you're done sending the reply or acknowledging the email or whatever they wanted you to respond to. Make sure that when you send that email or reply to that message, it closes the loop so that you don't think about it when you get back into the original piece of work you're doing. This will eliminate a lot of the extra time it takes to get back into it because, again, it only took a couple minutes, not 23, right? And you're closing the loop so you can quickly get back into that work without taking a lot of what the researchers call recovery time. The third tip I have for you is this. create a recovery strategy. There are going to be interruptions that we can't intentionally go and handle. There are going to be some interruptions that, well, I can't just answer one or two quick questions. We might have to handle them. They might be the price of doing business, meaning I got to take this, I got to handle this, I got to do it right now. And so we go ahead and have the communication, we respond to the message, but we have a recovery strategy so that when we're done with that, we can quickly get back into our work. What am I talking about here? You can do this in 60 or 90 seconds. It's no more than 90 seconds. What you're doing with that 60 seconds is, as soon as the interruption is over, you come back and you intentionally switch your focus back to what you were doing. And you take a few moments to kind of reiterate to yourself. The researchers found that sometimes people even find benefit in talking kind of out loud or kind of to themselves about it. Where was I? And answer that. What was I reading right before I was interrupted? And answer that. This starts to pull you back in to the material. Some folks benefited by using that 60 to 90 seconds to come back from an interruption and kind of close the loop there. So anything that kind of is sticking in your head and you're kind of wondering about, you kind of address that or acknowledge that real quick, maybe the first 30 seconds, and then spend the next 30 seconds realigning yourself with that work. The research shows that again will shorten the amount of time it takes for us to recover, because again, it's an intentional practice. We're not just coming back willy-nilly going, oh, where was I? What was going on? I think I was here, and just trying to patch it all together. Build in a recovery strategy. Some folks find that the recovery strategy that works for them is to maybe sit quietly for 1 minute, just kind of sit quietly, not focusing on the work they're doing, just kind of sitting quiet and letting what's called a cognitive reset take place, where the brain kind of cools down from that last bit of communication or interruption and kind of just naturally starts to switch back into the work that you were doing. So again, those are 3 tips that you can use right away to start building in some intentional recovery time and start shortening, or what we call the bleeding of the 23 minutes. In the next video, I'll continue this discussion with another practice that you can do to set up some ruthless blocks of focus. See you in the next video. And until next time, take care of yourself so you can take care of each other.